RBT family, what is the deal? Hold on, what's going on in my background? RBT family, what's the deal? Shedeur Willie Jack, man, and we are back, baby, back with more NFL action. How's everybody doing? How you feeling? I don't know about the rest of y'all, but it is Victory Wednesday for your dog. I say it is Victory Wednesday for your dog. So I hope y'all feeling good, feeling great, man. Hope y'all feeling good as I am. Hope your weekend went as well as mine did. You feel me? Yes, sir. And then hold on real quick, man. I'm having some, let me get myself together. There we go. There we go, man. I feel like it's just one of them days, man. But can't nothing go wrong on Victory Wednesday. So we in this thing, man. We in this thing feeling good, feeling great. Ready to talk some ball, man. We had a damn good weekend of football for sure. A lot of good games, a lot of good key matchups, a lot of matchups that had massive playoff implications, right? And so, man, just like we talked about on Sunday, this week was an important one for sure. For sure. Yeah. Let me see. Let me get myself together, man. There we go. There we go. Yeah, like I said, man, I can't wait. I can't wait for y'all to get here and get comfortable. Let me slow down for just a second. Make sure everything is up, running, and ready to go, man. Make sure everything is up, running, and ready to go. But not for sure. So definitely some good matchups. Playoff implications galore. A lot of developments as well, right? Some, some injury news of note, specifically with the Colts, man, that we should talk about as well. That can't wait for us to get into. But yeah, no, it's getting there. It's getting down to the nitty gritty. It's getting down to crunch time. We coming around the final turn. We're about to enter the home stretch. We're about to enter the home stretch of the season. How crazy does that sound? I just said that out loud right now, and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's nuts, right? We got another month of football left, of regular season football. We got a month of regular season football left, and then it's playoffs and Super Bowl time, man. It's getting crazy. But yeah, let's see. Okay, I see a couple of y'all in the building. First off, welcome. I appreciate y'all. Now, we got a couple rules now, all right? We got a couple rules. When you get in here, get yourself real comfortable. Sit down, enjoy yourself, and then tap in with the three amigos, all right? Like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Drop something in the chat. Say what's up to your dog. Talk to me. You know I talk back. All the good stuff, man. Y'all know what's going on. Let me see. Oh, Mom's in the building, firing early. She said, good evening, Big Nation family. Happy Wednesday. Let's see. Uh-oh. Said Travis Kelce and Kareem Hunt decided they didn't want to play no football on Sunday. Get the Chiefs a break. They getting tired of the Chiefs. It's time for their season to be over. Hey, I'm not going to lie. There are some folks that share that same sentiment. There are some folks that share that same sentiment for sure. For sure, you're right. And you know what though? And that's what ends up happening, right? We see this type of thing happen with like dynasties, right? It's all cute and it's all fun and games in the beginning, but then you keep winning. And then we get tired of it. You know what I mean? It's that old saying, or not that old saying, but if y'all remember in Dark Knight, right? You either die the hero or you live long enough to turn into the villain, right? And so that's what happens a lot of times with like completely dominant teams or completely dominant players. We get fatigued, right? We got a lot of people are chief fatigued. Every year feels like every year they're in the Super Bowl, right? Every year they're in the AFC Championship. You know what I mean? And so it does get a little repetitive. It gets a little bold. It gets a little old. It gets a little stale. We start getting antsy. We want to see some new blood. So yeah, I get what you're saying. We've seen it happen with the Patriots. We've seen it happen with the Bulls in their time, right? We've seen that type of thing happen for sure. So yeah, no, you ain't the only one. You ain't the only one, moms, for sure. Let me see, my dog chopping this thing, man. So he said he for sure comfortable. I guess that's what blowing out the worst team in your division do. When you blow out when you cherry pick, and when y'all pick on, what made y'all pick on the Cardinals like that, man? What the Cardinals did to y'all to make y'all put 45 points on them? They had rolled over. All right? They rolled over 20 points ago. Y'all just kept piling on, man. It's foul. Nah, shout out to my dog. Shout out to my dog. Sis in the building said, what's going on? Fam, bam, happy Wednesday. Let's go. Let's go. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, no, it happens. You know what I mean? It does. Michael Jordan has he's got 5 league MVPs instead of 6, right? Instead of 8. Because he left. But he's got 5 instead of 6. And they gave one to Charles Barkley. Not that Barkley's not great. Barkley's fantastic. Barkley, honestly, the longer we get away from that time, Barkley's getting a little underrated, I think. I don't think Barkley necessarily gets the credit that he may be due. And there's a lot of things we can say, but at the time, and now this is my very young childhood. I'm not going to talk too deep. You know what I mean? Like I was in the trenches, you know what I'm saying, in 93, 94 in NBA lore. But from what I've gathered though, and even in my childhood growing up, what I remember, Charles Barkley was arguably the second best player in the league behind only Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? This is the league that had Hakeem Olajuwon, but Hakeem Olajuwon wasn't looked at as the second best player in the league, the most technically sound, the most proficient on both sides of the ball, the best defensive player for sure. But I don't think Hakeem Olajuwon was considered the second best player in the league behind MJ in that time. Man, I think it was Barkley. Barkley had a video game. Man, I remember Sir Charles's Blacktop on Sega. Shout out to moms. But yeah, man, Charles was a dude. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, they gave him one of MJ's MVPs though. Is my point. You know what I mean? Because even MJ wasn't excused from, you know what I mean, winner's fatigue. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't excused either. Let's go. Rennie in the building said, what's going on to the RBT family? Let's go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, now we're gonna let's go ahead and jump right on in and get ourselves real situated. Also, no, I'll wait till we get to that game. I do want to talk about, I'm sure a lot of y'all probably saw the news about Phillip Rivers being called from his couch to come maybe join the Colts, or at least, join the practice squad and see if he can get himself in some style of game-ready shape, and maybe he'll be ready to play before season's end, and see if maybe they have a chance of salvaging their season with the injury to Daniel Jones. And so I do want, you know what? Yeah, that's a good one to go ahead and break us in. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and break us on in. Matter of fact, I keep talking about it. Indianapolis on the road at Jacksonville. Now, this game was for, I guess the division lead was on the line. The Colts have been holding on to it. Their second half of their season, of course, hasn't went as well as the first half of it did for a lot of reasons. Daniel Jones has been a little banged up, nicked up, beat up a little bit here in this second stretch. And his play has reflected that as well. And so him going down with that would end up being an Achilles injury in this Jacksonville game is going to cost him his season. And this is the thing about it. For one, I just want to say this, right? I'm not a huge Daniel Jones fan, etc., but I hate to see him go down like that. And more specifically, I always hate to see players get injured. That's off rip. You know what I mean? So I'm never cheering for a guy to get hurt, or I'm never cheering for a guy to get injured. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind seeing a Raven or two get hurt when we playing them, but I don't want to see none of them get injured. You know what I'm saying? So realistically, right? So to see him go down, his season's over, torn Achilles, he's going to have surgery. But in this year where he was redeeming himself, he was in the process of salvaging his career. And not to say that that's all lost now, because I do think he's had a well enough showing that I think the Colts are still going to bring him back. Now, what's that number look like now, though? Right? Because we saw Sam Darnold just last year. Sam Darnold probably cost himself roughly $15-ish million the last month of the season last month. And I think I was saying that at the time as well, because he really kind of crapped the bed down the stretch, and he really gave a lot of money back. Now, he still signed a damn good contract in Seattle. I want to say 3 for 90, if I remember right. So 30 a year, good guarantees on there. And so that for me is at least what sets the bar for Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones being this year's Sam Darnold, essentially, right? And so now, coming off an Achilles, also an Achilles this late in the season. It's the second week of December, people. You know what I mean? And an Achilles isn't necessarily like a quick return. Like it's a time consuming return, man, and it's a grueling rehab. His next season isn't guaranteed, you know. Like, and I haven't seen the reports on the estimated like injury or rehab time. Like I'm not sure the official timeline, honestly, but I do know that if that he's not gonna be ready for the beginning of the season. I would highly doubt that. I can't imagine him being ready for training camp come 2026 season, right? And so I think this injury likely cost him the bulk of next year, which, as we just talked about with Sam Darnold, this may end up costing him a good $30-35 million. Because if Sam got somewhere between 30 and 33, no, matter of fact, it might have been 3 for $100 to go to Seattle. So maybe it's 33. I don't know what the guarantees, maybe the guarantees were make it realistically average out to 30, but somewhere in that 30-35 million range. Well, now you've got a guy coming off an Achilles who already had an up and down past, who was in the process of, like I said, cleaning his name up and making himself an option to move forward like we saw with Darnold. Well, now we can't do that. Now that's on hold. Because now at best, right, he gets another 1 year move along deal. And then also, depending on the timeline for this Achilles, when's he coming back? And so I think the deal he signed was like that damn good in-between backup, bottom starter type of money, right? I want to say the contract he had signed with the Colts, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it was somewhere in that 15 mil range. I want to say, was it somewhere? It wasn't 20, but I want to say it was somewhere in the realm of 15-ish or so, right? And so let's say the injury doesn't happen. He salvages, he's able to play. Now, who knows how this season is going to shake out, but he's healthy going into the offseason. Because I think definitively Chris Ballard and that front office, we're all set to bring him back. And like I said, I still believe that they'll still probably want him. But now, like, what's that look like now? And that's the thing. And then also, like, you just can't, I mean, it's unfortunate to say, man, but this Achilles, this was probably an $80 million Achilles. This was an $80 million Achilles for Daniel Jones, right? And so, yeah, man, I hate to see that. Now, the other side of that, hold on, man, what's in my, man, that was going to drive me crazy. But the other part of that, the news that came out was that the Colts had reached out to Phillip Rivers, man. Phillip Rivers, they went to pull him out of retirement. Now, Phillip Rivers, of course, made his name with the Chargers, but he did finish his career in Indianapolis with the Colts. Now, it wasn't with the Shane Steichen coaching regime. This was Frank Reich. So it was the end of Frank Reich's regime, right? But he's been in that building. A lot of the coaching staff and front office, of course, they know him and they're familiar with him enough, and especially so that they called him off his couch, a la Joe Flacco, like we saw, 3 years ago, where Joe Flacco was as good as retired until Browns call him, somewhere around like week 9, and then he goes on a little run. And so now the Colts making that call to Phillip Rivers, a guy they're familiar with, you have to imagine that maybe they're thinking they can get some of that Joe Flacco and Cleveland style of magic, right? And then even now, since that point, Flacco's now 3 years in, and he's still playing damn good ball with Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Cincinnati's offense didn't miss a beat between the time that Joe Flacco took over and Joe Burrow came back. And that's a huge testament to Joe Flacco, and shows the ability of, these older 40-something-year-old quarterbacks in a league today that has all the extra protections it does. Their minds are just as sharp as they ever were. You know what I mean? And so if he's still got the physical goods, then honestly, I'm not going to put it past him that he can't be successful if he's in shape. Because on Joe Flacco's best day, he was never the quarterback that Phillip Rivers was. And so I think maybe they're trying too hard, though. I think Rivers has been retired since what? It's been, 5 years? Or roughly 5 years. I think he's a Hall of Fame candidate. Isn't he not a Hall of Fame candidate? Right? And so that's at least 5 years before you're eligible to go into the Hall. So that feels a little too much water under the bridge. Now, what I wondered was if they called Phillip Rivers, because I would imagine that can't be the only call. So who else got called? And I want to know, right? I want to know if there was any consideration, and if anybody's heard this, or if there's something that's came out, then please let me know. But I want to know if the Colts, if they did, I wonder how that went. And if they didn't, why not? But Cameron Newton, man. Cameron Newton is what, about a decade younger? No, I also heard that they reached out to Big Ben, the Ben Roethlisberger. That's who else I think I heard they reached out to. That they reached out to Phillip Rivers, and I think he agreed to come, or they're in talks about bringing him onto the practice squad and trying to see if he can get some style of game shape. And then I thought I also saw something or read something that they may have also placed a call or put a call in with Ben Roethlisberger as well. Now, I don't know if that was been substantiated outside of the one place I just saw that. But when I saw those two names, it made me think instantly, well, okay, wait, man. Cameron Newton's about a decade younger than both these guys, right? And then also, I think the things that made Cam great, the things that made Cam special, what he does well, it plays well in this Shane Steichen offense, right? And so, and especially if we're banking on 44-year-old Phillip Rivers to try to get in shape in the next 3 weeks so that he can suit up by week 17 and maybe give you a chance to win week 17 and week 18 and see if you can salvage a playoff run. If that's what we're banking on, we're going all in with that. We're putting all the eggs in a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers basket. Y'all mean to tell me we don't want to at least kick the tires on a 36-year-old Cameron Newton? Are we sure? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. So that's what I think makes sense. And then also we see what they were trying to do in Anthony Richardson. Like when you draft Anthony Richardson, as raw as he was coming out of Florida, when you draft him top 5, you're drafting him hoping that he can turn into or develop into Cameron Newton. That's the only reason you draft a guy 6'5", 250 pounds, runs 4.5, built like a muscled tank at the quarterback position. The man had 13 starts since high school. You draft that guy because you want him to be Cam Newton. You want him to turn into Cam Newton or develop into Cam Newton. Cam's out here. Anthony Richardson didn't work out. It didn't pan out. I'm not saying that his story is done, but it didn't pan out there. You know what I mean? They've moved on. That's clear, right? So Cam is sitting out there, man. He ain't doing nothing but podcasting and wearing crazy hats. And now them hats be fly, though. He ain't doing no podcasting wearing crazy outfits with them fly hats, though. Yeah, man, somebody get Cam a call. They wild. Let me see. Oh, okay, I see a couple of y'all then got into the chat. My fault. Let me see what's going on. Let me get caught up real quick. Sis said this man got 40-year-old kids. Hey, he got a gang up now. That man, I think the last count I saw from Phillip Rivers, I think he's up to a full dozen. I think Phillip Rivers got 12 kids. He's definitely got double-digit kids. Because I think he got to 10 by the time he retired, if I'm not mistaken. I think he got to 10 by the time he retired. I think he might have dropped another one off between 9 and 10. 1 or 2. He's got between 10 and 12. I'm pretty confident. And so, yeah, that's wild. And matter of fact, I think his oldest son, is his oldest son at NC State? Phillip Rivers went to NC State. He was drafted out of NC State when he was drafted to the Chargers. I want to say, is Phillip Rivers' oldest son, is he in college? Is he at NC State? I can't remember now, man. Somebody gonna have to help me out in the chat. Because, yeah, you ain't lying now. He's got college-age kids, man. His son is in college playing football, playing quarterback. I'm pretty sure. Hey, come on, man. Come on through then. Come on through then, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, my fault. Yeah, matter of fact, man. I'm gonna go to Missouri just to pop up on Keandre, man. Where you at, big dog? Where you at? Yeah, man. I'm slipping on my comments. They trying to replace you. My dog Miles in the building, man, said Phil got the Lord on his side. Boy, I tell you what, man, he got silver bullets, man. My dog Phillip Rivers is firing silver bullets. A dozen kids? A full dozen? At least 10. He got 10, 12 of them. Kids. Boy, I'm trying to tell you, boy. Hey, matter of fact, man, look, I'm going to leave that alone. I was about to say, man, that man, for all we know, Phillip Rivers out there shooting liquid gold, boy. 12? 12 of them? Shout out to his wife as well. Goodness gracious. Yeah, they got some type of secret sauce. They got some type of secret sauce for sure. My dog Miles said Indy Danny is better than Giants Danny. No, I think, honestly, this is I think Danny's Danny, but the Giants, the Giants have a lot of problems or issues organizationally, just the way they ran. And then also, I think just this situation is an upgrade, but I don't think like his like skill for skill, like I don't know if he's, what am I trying to say? No, I'll leave it alone. We can let that rock. Yeah, we can let that rock. He's definitely shown himself to be, I think he's still who he was, but he's shown himself to be no, you're right, man. I'm gonna let that rock. Yeah. Shout out to my dog. Indiana Jones. Hey man, we never thought of that before. Man, hey, you sure right. I don't know how that ain't never came up before. Damn Indiana Jones. Hell yeah. Shout out to my dog. Hey, my dog, Time in the building, man. I want y'all to know he's a freshman in the building, fresh out the gym. I appreciate you, big dog. Hey, y'all on the job, man. My dog Miles said put the comments up as well. Also, everybody got something to say about the comments now. Now, everybody got something to say about the comments now. Hey, my dog Chop said he ain't Philly, said they crazy as hell. Hey, Chop, we done seen it happen, man. What? Hey, he about, Phillip Rivers older than Joe Flacco. Damn. Well, he older than Joe. But we done seen it happen. On Joe's best day, the best Joe. I'm not taking the best version of Joe over the best version of Phillip Rivers. I ain't gonna do it. Joe had a magical Super Bowl run to get himself paid, and I respect it. Ravens said, hey, man, you want some of this elite money? Go out there and show me some elite. He said, cool. Went out there, put on, won a bowl, you know what I mean? Cashed out. I respect it. Oh, man, let him live. She said, go ahead and let the Chiefs season be over. Rennie said she'd call Kim. I'm not going to lie. I got you, Cam. But honestly, if we're calling Phillip Rivers at age 44, if we're calling Ben Roethlisberger, my dog, he better not pick up the phone for one. For one, he better not pick up the phone. But if we called him 43, 44-year-old Ben, you mean to tell me we not going to call 36-year-old Cam? And also a 36-year-old Cam who's also been, he's been living the soft life for about 3 years, but you know what I'm saying? He's probably the healthiest he'd been since about that MVP season. Cam Newton is probably as healthy as he's been since he won the MVP and went to the Super Bowl in 2015. He ain't been this healthy in his life since that point. So if we call him 44-year-old Cam and 43-year-old Big Ben, Cam did at least kick the tires. Have a conversation. Realistically. Hey, shout out to them Blend Bucks. Yeah, Cam damn sure did go to Blend and get one of those championships. Shout out to Blend. Oh, man, I know it ain't my dog, man. Hey, my dog Loki in the building, man. Hey, are you? Well, hey, man, sit down and pull yourself one, man. Matter of fact, don't mind me. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm going to have one with you. Yeah, of course you can, man. If I know you was showing up, I'd have had myself together, big dog. Yeah, man. Yeah, if I'd have known you was coming, if I'd have known you was coming, I'd have had my whiskey pulled right now. Matter of fact, have one for me. I appreciate you. Oh, he is. Yeah, he got grandkids. He real life dude. You sure right. Yeah, y'all go ahead and let my dog Low know, man. Yeah, he don't know how we get down around here, man. You get yourself good and comfortable, my boy. Yeah, we got refreshments in the back. Matter of fact, yeah, we got refreshments and everything. This is the penthouse. Yeah, welcome. For sure. Now, he definitely got grandkids. Hey, he better be. He gotta be. Because that boy potent, boy. Oh, Tom said y'all thought he forgot. Tom said, in case y'all forgot, them Texans, they still going to the Super Bowl. Here they go. The Texans showed out. Now, I ain't gonna lie, they played good ball. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. I know, I'm trying to catch up on these comments. Hey, yeah, there we go. All right. everybody good and warmed up. Now we good and loose. But no, that was my thought for sure. Like as soon as I seen the news, Phillip Rivers and man, matter of fact, shout out to my dog Tom. We was talking about that as well. But when I seen Phillip Rivers, I was like, okay, I can see it because he was in that building. They know him. So you know what I mean? If you got to bring somebody in, it's last minute. Like imagine like your anchor leg pulls a hamstring. You know what I'm saying? But the third leg is coming around the corner. Like, they need somebody right now. You know what I mean? So they're like, you know what? We didn't see him Phil run. We didn't have him in the building. You know what I mean? We know him. We got to bring somebody in late minute and whoop-de-whoop. So I can see, like, the thought process. But, man, 44, 12 kids, grandkids. I think his son is starting collegiate college football somewhere for somebody's team as well. I ain't saying don't call Phillip Rivers, but I'm saying if you call Phil and Big Ben, hey, look, man. Somebody text Cam. Matter of fact, I got it. Don't even worry about it, man. I'm tripping. I'm gonna check, man. I'm gonna see if Cam got the same number, man. I'm gonna hit him up and see if Chris Ballard called him, man. I'll report back to y'all on Sunday. Yeah, I'm gonna hit Cam up, man, and see if Ballard reached out, man. I'll let y'all know how that go. I got y'all, man. Y'all didn't know I know people, man. Y'all in the right place. I got us. We gonna figure that out. We gonna figure that out for sure. We gonna figure that out, man. But yeah, no. And I did all that talking, and we didn't even talk about the Jaguars. But shout out to the Jaguars getting that victory. They are now the #1 seed in Tom's AFC South, right? Right now, they've got the tiebreaker over both Houston and Indy, right? Or Tom, let me know if y'all played. Did y'all already play Jacksonville, or y'all still got 2 coming up with Jacksonville? But Jacksonville right now does have a one game lead, I think, on Houston and Indy, with the tiebreaker, of course, in the head-to-head against Indy as well. And so, yeah, we'll see how that AFC South shakes out, man. We'll see how that AFC South shakes out. And then, matter of fact, since we talked about it, we might as well segue right on into Sunday night. Houston goes on the road to Kansas City and gets that dub. Houston wins 20-10. This was a fantastic performance by that damn Houston Texans defense. My goodness. When I tell you swarming like a pack of dogs, they was all over the place, man. And honestly, was this the worst game we've seen from Pat? I'm trying to think, man. Is this the worst game we've seen from Pat? Pat had 160 passing yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Is this his worst performance? Was this his worst performance? I'm trying to think about it now. Yeah, it was a rough one, man. And then on the other side, I'll tell you what. This feels like the best game I've seen from C.J. Stroud. Not his best statistically, right? He's had way better and more productive statistical games for sure. But the plays he made in this game, because Kansas City's defense, now I know Mom's been going hard on Chris Jones. Chris Jones showed up to play in this one now. Chris Jones, I think he heard you. Matter of fact, I think Chris Jones heard you because he showed up. His motor was going in this one on Sunday night. Yeah, he was fired up. He was invested, and he was out there. He was out there playing hard and playing well. But CJ, like I said, he statistically it wasn't a big day. He had 200 passing yards. He threw 1 touchdown. You know what I mean? He had a big deep completion to Nico Collins. Nico Collins had a big day. 4 catches for 120 yards. But C.J. Stroud, like some of the throws he made, like right there in the face of pressure, imminent hits coming in, or finding a way to avoid or evade a defender right there in his face and finding a way to get the ball out. And another big thing was as well, like his guys caught the ball, and Kansas City's guys, they didn't. You know what I mean? But C.J. made several like big time or just like big plays in like these critical moments where drives were extended or drives were salvaged because he didn't take like a sack that were common or that we've accustomed to see him taking that essentially kills a drive because now he's lost another 12 yards. You know what I mean? So he didn't do a lot of that. And so now I thought this was a very, very well played game from C.J. Stroud considering. And like I said, both those defenses definitely showed up for sure. But also now with that said, and we've been talking about it for a few weeks now on the show, so y'all already know what's going on, but we've been talking about it, man. The Chiefs have been on extremely thin ice as far as their playoff hopes. They've been on thin ice now for the better part of a month. I think I want to say about three Yeah, at least a good 3 weeks now. At least a good 3 weeks now. What we've been talking about on the show is that the Chiefs playoffs started 3 weeks ago. When the Chiefs hosted Indianapolis, that was their wild card weekend. You know what I mean? Because the way the season has progressed, right? They're third in division behind the Broncos, who they can no longer catch. And then they're still behind the Chargers, who have the head-to-head matchup over them right now. Now they're going to bump into them this coming, what is it, Sunday or Monday night? They're going to bump into the Chargers now. But now at this point, it might be too little too late, right? And so, you know, was that the nail in the Chiefs' coffin? Was that the nail in the Chiefs' playoff coffin? So that's, yeah, I don't know, man. Really, 6-7 now. 6-7 now. Yeah, I don't know. I think that hole just got a little too deep. I think the Texans might have just put the final nail in the Chiefs playoff hopes coffin. Let's see. Tom said we split with them. Oh, y'all done already had both them matchups. Okay. Okay, so it's just a race to the better record then. I guess at this point they a game up. Sis said she called the Texans on that one as well. Mama, what other two players? She said the other two players suck. That's crazy. That's crazy. But no, but that was but like I said, I'm curious to see. And also that AFC South now, it's getting pretty tight. Like I said, so between the Colts, seeing like what they're gonna do, how that plays out, Phillip Rivers or whomever else, right? Now in the short intermediate, they're gonna have to rock with their rookie quarterback, Riley Leonard. And was he drafted? If he was drafted, he was a day 3 guy. I can't remember if he was drafted or unsigned or unsigned free agent. But they're going to have to rock with him for, realistically, I would think, at least probably 2 weeks, I would think, realistically. And then maybe in that third week, that second game from the last game of the season or so, like I said, you're going to see what you got in Phillip Rivers and see if that's going to pan out or if that's going to be real. We'll find out soon enough. Mr. Cash Kid in the... Oh, here he go. Here he go. Here he go. Hey, shout out to my dog, man. Ike T in the building, man. What's going on, big dog? He said the Chargers will win the Super Bowl if Alton Slater was healthy. Boy, you crazy as hell. Y'all beat the Eagles on the strength of 5 turnovers by going to overtime, but all that could be assuaged if Alton and Slater was still healthy. I don't know, man. Now winning the Super Bowl feels a little strong. It feels a little strong. But, I mean, there's no question that y'all would definitely be better if you had those two guys there for sure. Those are 2 All-Pros. Well, 2 All-Pro caliber guys. Alt, of course, hasn't won an All-Pro yet. And, you know, I think Slater, I know I've had Slater on my personal All-Pro list this early in his young career. But I think he's got an official second team, I want to say he's got an official second team All-Pro. So, yeah, you got 2 All-Pro caliber bookend tackles. You definitely can only be better for that. But also, let's keep in mind, though, you just got Amari and Hampton back from PUP list or from short-term IR. He just came back, and he looked solid. I mean, he didn't do anything fantastic or that stood out, I want to say. But his first action back, he did run hard. You know what I'm saying? Which is what he's going to do for sure. But, you know, I think Kamani Vidal still had the most explosive run against the Eagles in that game last night, if I remember right. I want to say Kamani Vidal broke one on the left sideline that went for probably like 20 yards, 15, 20 yards. And I think that was the most explosive run of the night. Amari Hampton, he had a couple tough runs, but I want to say his biggest run was probably like 8 yards. You know what I mean? So having those 2 back, of course, it'd definitely be better for Justin Herbert for sure. But putting y'all in the Super Bowl on the strength of that, I don't know if I could go that far. Let me see. He said he beat the Eagles. Yeah, you did. 5 turnover day in your building, 5 turnovers in overtime. But yeah, you got it done. But then also, what Eagles are we talking about, right? We can't talk like this is the same juggernaut Eagles. This is an Eagles team that's on the verge of imploding. This Eagles team's been on the verge of a full, flat-out meltdown for about 6 weeks now. You know what I mean? For about 6 weeks. And so, you know, they've got a lot of problems and issues already going on. For sure. Let me see. Dog said the problem with the Chargers is We can't block. No, for sure. No, for sure. No, it definitely would. You can't be worse bringing back 2 all-pro caliber bookend tackles. Both of them in their athletic primes as well. Because I think Rashawn Slater's 26? You know what I mean? Joe Alt, this is his second year. He was 24? And so you got 2 bookends, man, that big as well. Joe Alt 6'8". Rashawn Slater's only 6'4", but he's, man, strong as an ox. So I love that combo for y'all, for sure. Now, in the grand scheme, I still don't think y'all have anybody that's like, y'all still are missing like a true dynamic weapon in the offense though. That's still a thing that I think y'all need to work on. So like you got Ladd. Now Ladd was put in the box, boy. It was some prime time white on white crime going on Monday night, and then none of y'all reported. Cooper DeJean was out there killing Ladd McConkey in the slot, man. Wasn't nobody gonna say nothing? They at home. Ladd McConkey got family. He probably got a little girlfriend now. His mama was probably at the game. You know what I'm saying? It's at home. Cooper put that boy in a box on TV. It was embarrassing. But you know what I'm saying? And then also, you've got aging Keenan Allen. You've got the young guy, Trey Harris, that I did like out of Ole Miss, but he's a big body, you know what I'm saying, big body contested catch guy. He's not a guy that's going to, you necessarily want to lean or tilt the offense towards. And then, of course, the up and down nature of Quentin Johnston. Y'all still need a truly dynamic weapon to really take a lot of that pressure off. Because now protecting Herbert is, of course, of paramount, right? I'm not going to underplay that. But if we're talking about y'all realistically winning the Super Bowl, I still don't love that roster with healthy Alt and Slater. I still don't love that roster because I still don't feel like y'all have like a real, true, dynamic threat. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of Justin using his legs, his athleticism. And then, of course, the rest of those guys being able to be schemed open plays or catch and run and get exposed that way. But y'all know, man, y'all need a real deal weapon out there still. He said we beat the top of the AFC, the Steelers, the Broncos, and the Chiefs. Cuz, man, who are the Chiefs? You know who else beat the Chiefs? Boy, there's 7 other teams on that list that beat the Chiefs with y'all, man. This ain't the same Chiefs. You got to add the context. This ain't the same Chiefs. Still ain't the same Eagles. And then also now the Broncos, that's a good win. The Broncos is a good win for sure. Now also, y'all didn't sweep the Broncos, right? Because I think y'all still got to run that back with them at the end of the year. So y'all won, and I think y'all won the one at y'all crib as well. So if you split with a division rival, that's more or less expected. The Browns split with the Ravens last year. And the Ravens were, you know what I mean? Or the Browns year over year generally tend to split with the Ravens and the Bengals, and they're much more talented teams in division. Man, I know you ain't. Hey, shout out to my Steelers, but I know you ain't gonna build your Super Bowl case on the strength of beating my Steelers. And then, mind you, in that game as well, boy, man, y'all might have caught a break or two in that one. No, I ain't gonna hear that. First off, you lost to the Giants in rookie Jackson Dart's first career start, and Malik Neighbors went down in like the second series of that game, and you lost to the Giants. So you gotta, if you're going to talk about the wins, let's talk about their losses too. Let me see. Look, no, I ain't gonna lie. I haven't seen the all 2020 on it, but I know the plays that matter, the targets that matter. When he was targeted, he was wearing a blanket. He was wearing a Dijon blanket on his targets, on the bulk of them. It feel like on most of them targets, Cooper DeJean was wearing that boy he was wearing Cooper DeJean like a jacket, and he did not want to be in that jacket. You know what I mean? That's what it looked like. I ain't seen the all 22 though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't seen the all 22 on that though. You could be on to something. Maybe when the scheme's not coming in where he's like the fourth read in the option, or maybe he's the fourth option in, or you know what I'm saying, the fourth read in the scheme. Maybe he worked himself open past the point of realistically getting the ball. I mean, possibly. But I don't hate it though. Let me see what else we got. Oh yeah, this is one we'll talk about as well. Cincinnati on the road at Buffalo. And y'all see the caption, man. Joe or no Joe, the Bengals will still bungle, man. The Bengals stay true to form. The Bengals have the Bills on the ropes. You know what I mean? Like there was for a big stretch of this game, they were moving the ball at will, scoring at will, it felt like. And then also the defense was holding up. They made a couple big plays. There was one of the biggest moments in this one, of course, is the goal line fumble from James Cook. Now, what's funny about that is that James Cook had a questionable fumble up the right sideline. It was was it a run or a catch and run? I believe it might have been a catch and run, like a screen or something, but he goes up the right sideline. He's diving for the end zone. One of the Bengals players, I think, knocks the ball out of his hand, and it looked like it may have been a fumble in the end zone, which would be a safety and the turnover on downs. Or no, it would have been a touchback and the Bengals get the ball. Well, the call ends up going Buffalo's way. And then on that same drive, is that the next play? Either that next play or maybe 2 plays later, hand off to James Cook, who's been fantastic this season for sure. James Cook has probably been the 3rd or 4th best back in football this season, if I want to say. Now, maybe 3. I don't even know. I don't know if I can put 4 in front of him the way he's performed. So he's having a fantastic year, and I'm a big fan as well. I was a big fan of his brother Dalvin. My dog Chopper tell y'all that. But no, so it's on the nose kind of ball question there. And then what? 2 plays or the next play, we get the goal line fumble. Looks like just inside zone left, and then get the goal line fumble. And the Bengals recover the ball. And then honestly, right when it happened, I'm watching like, hey, look, the ball don't lie, man. Ball don't lie. They might have got over on that call before where it looked like it could have been a touchback for the Bengals, right? But, Buffalo keeps the ball, and then boom, next play, fumble. And so the Bengals recover. So the Bengals had everything. It looked like everything was going their way. Let's see. Joe Burrow was fantastic in this one until he wasn't. 284 yards, 4 total touchdowns in this one. T. Higgins was a problem in this one. 6 catches for 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, one of the second touchdown came in the 4th quarter when they were rallying to come back after losing the lead, like we're about to talk about it. But Joe Burrow, man, and 2 interceptions. And let's talk. And the thing about these interceptions as well. So both of them. No, the first one I'm just gonna put completely on him. Is it Christian Benford? The corner, one of the corners from Buffalo, looks to be blitzing off the right edge. Joe knows he's coming. Joe knows he's hot, so he's trying to dump it to Chase, Jamar Chase, who's sitting right there in the short flat, right there, just off tackle. Joe tries to kind of lob it, and it looked, the way he threw it looked weird because he almost kind of pushed it or like literally lob it like just over him to get it to Chase instead of even, I don't know, it looked funny. Long story short, Christian Benford jumps up, snatches the football, and then runs that back for a pick 6, roughly 40 or 50 yards or something like that. So it's a pick 6. Now, how often does something like that happen? That's a fantastic play because he's blitzing and then has the wherewithal and the athleticism to not only stop himself, but then to jump and get in the air, and then even still, more so than just throw an arm or even tip that pass, he comes down with it. And then he takes off and scores a pick 6. So, yeah, I'm putting that on Joe for sure, but that's still one of those plays where how often does a guy really make that type of play? Like, that's not a play that we see happen to, like, commonly, right? So that was just a fantastic play. All right, you got me. You know what you can't do, Joe? You can't come out on the very next play and have another one go against you. Now, this second one, in fairness, this one was a tip pass. Very next play. First snap after the pick 6, right? And now it's a ball game again now. You know what we do? He's trying to go left to whoever. It don't matter who it was. He's trying to get a pass off to the left. Instead, the pass gets deflected by one of the Bills' defensive linemen. No. I'm lying. This one was also on Joe. Was Joe... All right, somebody got to help me out. I might be crossing up interceptions. I was trying to think, was Joe throwing to the left on like a crosser, and it wasn't horribly behind, but I think it was on the back shoulder, guys running away, but it hit him on the back shoulder in that area. The corner's actually able to tip it, and then he locates the ball in the area and picks that one off as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the second one. So 2 back-to-back ones, critical ones that really gave Buffalo new life, especially after them costing themselves 7 points with the goal line fumble from James Cook. And so terrible turn of events there. Now, terrible in a sense if you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan, but I ain't no Cincinnati Bengals fan. So this is wonderful. This is wonderful. And of course you know what Big Josh did. Of course you know what Big Josh did. You can't give a real one the ball. You can't keep giving a real one that many chances. 250 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And of course, probably the play of the game, a 40-yard touchdown run. I think the longest of his career, if I'm not mistaken. A 40-yard touchdown run to really kind of cap off his day. He finishes with roughly 80 yards rushing in this one as well. And the Buffalo Bills complete the comeback, get that win. And then this game also, mathematically, the Bengals still aren't eliminated, but they're in dangerous waters. You know what I mean? I think, honestly, because of the division they're in, because this AFC North is completely upside down. Yeah, because they're not mathematically eliminated. I think they're 5-9. And I think they still have a chance, I believe, or something like that. As crazy as that sounds, but for all intents and purposes, it looks like this is probably going to be the nail in the Bengals playoff hopes as well. And so we'll see how that shakes out. Let me see. Ring said he had 2 interceptions in the fourth. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, back to back. My dog Ike said, yeah, Joe gave the game away. Nah, for sure, bro. Like I said, that first one, like that's a fantastic play. Like you don't. That's a almost like a one-off play. The one that Benford kind of was blitzing, jumped and snatched it out the air. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of a one-off play. It's not. That's a pretty tough play to make. That next one, if I remember right, like I said, I think it. And Joe's a very accurate quarterback, and it wasn't way off. It wasn't a Jameis Winston miss. You know what I mean? Y'all like to get on my dog Jameis. It wasn't a Jameis Winston type of miss, right? Where he just missed the whole side of a barn. No, it wasn't nothing like that. It was on him, but it was on the back shoulder, and I'm going, you know what I'm saying? It was on the left shoulder, and I'm going to the right? But the corner right there still made a fantastic play. Got his hand in there, deflected the ball. Ball probably went up 12 feet in there. And then he's able to like spin around, locate it, and come down with it. So that's also a great play. But that one, I think a better throw probably gives, I'm just going to say it was Higgins because he was the man of the hour in that game. So it probably gives Higgins a better chance to maybe catch it, maybe even run and turn up and maybe pick up that, pick up a few more yards before he goes down or goes out of bounds. So I'll put that second one definitively on Joe. They're both on Joe, but that first one was it was a fantastic play by the defense for sure. It really was. Rennie said the Bengals played their best game, but Big Josh wasn't having it. You know what's going on. Big Josh, man. Y'all know what's going on. We're going to go ahead and keep it pushing, man. Let's talk about Cleveland. Tennessee on the road in Cleveland. I see the subtitle, man. Cam wins, but Shedeur shines. Tennessee wins this game 31-29. And this was a damn good game. You know what I mean? Like, this was a damn good game. Or at least speaking just, when I say that, I'm talking about Shedeur, of course. He played fantastic. Not perfect, but he played fantastic. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let's get into the numbers. Here we go. Shedeur finishes that game, 364 passing yards. You know, young career high. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Had another 30 yards rushing, also a rushing touchdown. So we've got just shy of 400 total yards of offense and 4 touchdowns in a very in a hard-fought game, man, in a game that Kevin Stefanski decided to take the ball out of his hands in the winning moments, and we saw them fall just short. But doesn't discount what he did. Like I said, fantastic day. And another thing as well, man, that Harold Fannin Jr., tight end from Bowling Green, the rookie, he's a player. He's a stud. The leading receiver on this team, he's unguardable. He looks unguardable, man. His touchdown in this one was fantastic. It's just a single. He's the solo receiver. He's tight end, but he's the solo receiver on the left side, right there in the short goal line. He just runs a one-on-one post against Xavier Woods, I want to say. I like Xavier Woods coming in from, was that Notre Dame? Matter of fact, my dog Ike might know. He's a draft head like myself. But I think I like Xavier Woods coming in if I'm thinking of the right guy. I want to say Notre Dame. Now it's gonna bother me. But no, one-on-one runs a fantastic post route. And then also Woods gets in good position. And then it's just big man, little man. Just Harold Fender just goes right over the top, mouses him, comes down, great strong hands catch. They go to the ground, touchdown. You know what I mean? And so big time catch, beautiful throw. Shedeur also had a very nice layered throw to the other longtime tight end, David Njoku as well. I think it was his first touchdown in the game. And Njoku, actually same part of the end zone. That left corner of the end zone, Njoku's just running a square out, and Shedeur just layers it, throws a nice touch pass right in the bucket to Njoku for a touchdown right there on the goal line. And so fantastic day. His third touchdown to Jerry Jeudy. It was a nice, I guess I'll call it a post. You know what I mean? I guess we'll call it a post. But yeah, like a nice post route, also throwing to the left. Man, I just thought about that as well. That one was also to the left. Jerry Jeudy runs what I'm going to call, I guess, a post, or we'll call it slant, right? Yeah, let's call it slant. Who am I thinking of? I think you're right. Yeah, you right. Shots, see, that's why I need you, big dog. Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you. I like Kevin Winston, though. Kevin Winston was the thumper, too. Yeah. But no, man, there's I'll tell you who I was thinking of. Not Kevin Winston. The safety, Xavier Watts. That's who I was thinking of, Xavier Watts. That's who it was. Yeah, okay, yeah, you just posted it good. Xavier Watts is who I was thinking of, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Xavier Watts. Now, I liked Xavier Watts coming out of Notre Dame. He wasn't a strong tackler at Notre Dame, but he's rangy. Like, he's rangy. He's got great ball skills. Like, you know what I mean? So as a rangy, free, you know what I'm saying? With ball skills, yeah, I like him. His tackling was an issue at Notre Dame for sure. But yeah, Xavier Watts is who I was thinking of. Yeah, there we go. There we go, yeah. But no, yeah, like I said, Xavier Woods. And so that's even still commendable as well, because we got Ricky Harold Fannin against, like my dog IT just told us, man, against an established guy, you know what I'm saying? A veteran guy. And so that's a big play in a big moment. I thought it was going to be a little rookie on rookie crime, but no, like my dog said, no, that's a vet, man, Xavier Woods, not Xavier Watts. But yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Shout out to my dog IT. But no, this is a fantastic game. And so also, where was I going? The 2-point conversion play. So now, even getting to that point, I lied. I want to talk about Tennessee a little bit as well before we get to the climax, right? Before we get to the crescendo. Modest day from Cam Ward, 117 passing yards. He did throw 2 touchdowns, had a pick in this one. But the story today for this one was definitely the running game. Tony Pollard tore Cleveland's defense apart. Tony Pollard, and almost, I think just from the outset, like just from the outset, he was a problem all day long. 25 carries, 161 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Fantastic performance from Tony Pollard. And y'all know, man, if some of y'all been around long enough, man, y'all remember me and my dog Chop, man, on Look Film Speak. I was a big proponent of Tony Pollard getting more carries in that offense at the time when we had Fat Zeke, man. Fat Zeke was still eating too many carries, and Tony Pollard was out there cooking when he got a chance. Hey, man, it was a whole campaign, man. Hey, free TP, man. If y'all was here, y'all know what's going on. It was big free TP. We got TP free, too. Don't think we ain't got no pool around here, RBT Fam. Don't think we ain't got no pool, because we got TP free, and we got them paid. Now, has it been all sunny and rosy in Tennessee? Maybe not. But we got him free and we got him paid, man. And he paid dividends in today's game. And in a huge moment against that Cleveland defense, what defense is playing better than Cleveland? There's few that we'll put in that conversation, right? The Texans, my dog Terrible Time and his Texans, right? But if we talk about the top 3, 4 in the league, Houston, Cleveland, when Minnesota has it going, you know what I mean? Like, I think Minnesota's defense at their best gives anybody trouble. Seattle's defense is nice. Leonard Williams has found a whole second life since he went out there from the Giants as well, which is also a pattern. Look at Danny Dimes since he left New York. Look at Saquon since he left New York. Look at Leonard Williams since he left New York. You know what I mean? The only person who left New York and fell off is Odell. Damn, that's crazy to say. Everybody else who leaves New York and feel like they have a career resurgence. Xavier McKinney went to the Packers, led the league in interceptions. You know what I mean? So everybody else but Odell, who left the Giants, that's crazy. That's crazy. But now let's get to the crux of the discussion, right? So in this game, if y'all recall, Tennessee is up 2 scores in that fourth quarter. Tennessee's up. What was it? I want to say Tennessee was up by 2 scores with like 6-7 minutes in the game. You know what I mean? 2 scores. And so Shedeur leads 2 drives. He's got the touchdown to Harold Fanning, the one I talked about before. And then, but the touchdown before that, they drive down to get in the short red zone. He's able to maneuver himself in the pocket, shows that same pocket mobility that we saw in Colorado, right? Except now, instead of and also what he was doing in the preseason as well. This is a vast improvement from that, where he can run around and buy himself time, but he's drifting back further and further, and he'll take a sack that loses 20 yards. You know what I mean? He did it in college, he did it in the preseason as well, and he did it in his first start when he got some burn as well. That wasn't the case in this game, right? I think in this game he only took 1 sack, but he's scrambling, he's moving around, and then he steps up, finds a crease, and then he runs and gets and puts one in the end zone with his legs as well. So he played fantastic, makes up that difference, covers that ground, makes up that difference in the fourth quarter, down 2 scores as a rookie in your 3rd career start, right? In that moment, and then you know what Kevin Stefanski funky ass does? Takes him off the field to run a wildcat trick play that was to have Quinshon Judkins try a throwback pass. Man, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? You know what I mean? Kevin Stefanski getting too cute. Still can't get out his own way or whatever that is about. But yeah, so it essentially cost him this game. I'm going to put it on right now. Now, not to say that Shedeur was guaranteed to complete the 2-point conversion or whatever the case, but you're not going to tell me that we didn't have a damn better chance of winning this game we didn't have a better chance to win this game taking the ball out of his hands. What coach anywhere pulls the ball out of a hot quarterback's hands? 360 yards, 400 total yards on the day, 4 touchdowns. 2 of those touchdowns have came in the last 6 minutes of this game to get us back in it. He's red hot. And you know what we do? I tell y'all what. Let's take him off the field, and then we'll have our rookie on some type of option reverse, option pass back play. They'll never see it coming. No, hell no. What are we doing? What are we doing? And so it ends up costing them the game. And honestly, and I hate, and I don't feel good about saying it now because I'm not here to call for nobody's job. That's a fireable offense. I think Kevin Stefanski's actions, we can argue or debate about the first half of the season, but once we got Shedeur on the field, it became extremely evident that he was obviously the best rookie quarterback on that team, but even more so than that, it's pretty clear he's the best quarterback on the team. So there's a lot of things that we can question and debate about, but once it became evident that Shedeur is the guy that is looking like he is now, then man, look, Sunday afternoon appeared to be fireable offense. I've seen people fired for less. I saw Lovie Smith get fired after a 10-win season in which he had just been in the Super Bowl 2 years before, or 3 years before with the Bears. Bears hadn't won anything since firing Lovie until now. Now, they had one outlier year with Mr. Trubisky, and we see how that worked out for Matt Nagy and Mr. Trubisky. You know what I'm saying? They returned back to sender, and then the Bears still ain't got back to the consistent level that they had under Lovie since then. I've seen people fired for less. So Kevin Stefanski, my boy, hey, man, that writer's got to be on the wall. Let me see. Hold on. Let me catch up in this chat as well. Let me see here. I'm catching up. Hold on. Oh, who we got in here? Raul Havana 448. What's going on? He said number 1 got the W and number 144 got the L. I mean, he did. That wasn't up for debate. Now, do you feel better about Cam Ward being, or do you feel better going forward with Cam Ward, or do you feel better going forward with Shedeur Sanders if you're the Browns? Right? Because the W and the L is going to be on the team. You know what I mean? Because Shedeur ain't going to win or lose them by himself, and Cam's not going to win or lose them by himself either. That goes without saying. But you got to explain to me. Now, first off, where are you from, for one? Nice to meet you. Are you a Titans fan? I'm not trying to downplay the win for the Titans. And I like Cam Ward. Cam Ward was my QB1 coming into the draft. I did have Shedeur as QB2, but Cam Ward was my QB1 for sure. And I like Cam Ward, and I think he's got a bad rap thus far in the season because that team's just terrible. That team is just terrible, right? And so I think he's got there's a lot more heavy lifting to do with that roster and with the team around him. So I'm not here to downplay or hate on Cam Ward. If I was coming off that way, that's not what I mean, because I'm a fan. I want him to do well. I really do. And like I said, I think he's got a special arm. I think he's got a special arm for sure. So I'm not trying to knock him. But no, that wasn't the point of what we was talking about, big dog. You know the storyline's been going on with Shedeur. Come on, man. You know what's going on, but what's going on, man? Talk to me now. No, don't run now. Hold on now. No, we didn't call you to the front of the class. We didn't call you to the front of the class, Raul Lavana. Don't run now. Come back, talk to your dog. Where you from? Who's your team? I need all the answers, big dog. But I appreciate you. Go ahead and get yourself real comfortable. Sit down. We got refreshments in the back. I don't know if you missed that. It's refreshments in the back. Welcome to the penthouse. RBT Fam. Somebody say what's up to Raul Lavana in the chat, man. I appreciate you, big dog. Yeah, and this is a continued pattern. This wasn't the first time. It's an established pattern now. It's an established pattern now. So it wasn't the first time for sure. Hold on, Rennie said she also was running wide as well. Yeah, man, getting too cute, overthought it, or whatever reason or excuse we want to talk about, but no good reason at all. Like I said, no good reason at all. But now we're gonna keep pushing. Let me see where we're gonna go. You know what? Let's go ahead and talk about my boys. Since we was talking AFC North football, this is as good a time as any. Pittsburgh on the road against Baltimore. And we handle business. Y'all can say what y'all want to. I don't give a damn about what y'all got to say. Go in there and handle business. Hold on, I'm parched. A victory, boy. I tell you what. I don't care what y'all say. Win is a win. Win is a win is a win. Hell or high water, ugly, pretty, fat, skinny, otherwise, I will take them as they come. Win is a win, 27-22. Now, I think some of the controversy in this game is a little overblown. I think some of the controversy in here is just a little overblown. And so specifically, the one, we can talk about it. The touchdown, no, that one we'll talk about. The first one, the called fumble that was overturned when Aaron Rodgers had, I think, like a pass deflected in the air. He tries to catch it. There's a scrum, right? He gets his hands on it, and then they're going to the ground. A Ravens player knocks the ball out of his hands, or there's a scrum, right? Ball's going to change hands in a scrum a lot of times. Because also, I think a Ravens player ended up taking the ball from A-Rod in the scrum, and then Zach Frazier, our center, left the pile with the ball still. So the ball may change hands several times in one of those dog piles like that anyway. But now here's the thing, because these Ravens fans, man, they've been bitching and crying about that one just as bad as the touchdown overturn. First off, the replay clearly showed, they paused it, right? Aaron Rodgers has the ball in his hands. The Ravens player has a hand on the ball trying to take it away. And Aaron Rodgers' left knee is on the ground. It's still shot in 4K. What are we complaining about? People are complaining about that one. People in Baltimore are complaining about that one. How? Do we not know by now that a tie goes to the offense? The tie goes to the runner. In this instance, the runner is the offense. If two guys have their hands on the ball, we've seen this before on touchdown catches in the end zone. Was it a touchdown or an interception? They both have the ball. Well, guess who gets the touchdown? Offense is getting that call, man. The tie goes to the offense. That's not new. Once he has the ball, he had both hands on it. A guy's trying to pull it away. He's got two hands on it. His knees on the ground. He's down. Clear cut. I'm not giving you no slack for that one. I'm not giving you no credit and no slack for that one, Baltimore. Now, I'll entertain the second one. I'll entertain the second call, man. The Isaiah Likely touchdown. Damn, something about talking about these Ravens gets me parched. I'll talk about the Isaiah Likely touchdown with y'all Ravens. Because if I was y'all, I'd be hot as well. Now, the thing about it, I've been on the other side of that call. We've been on the other side of that call, Pittsburgh. So we already know what time it is. Just earlier this year, we had one like that. We had one 2 years ago with Deontay Johnson. We had one 6 years ago with Jesse James scoring a touchdown that should have sent us to when we played the Patriots at the crib. Jesse James, man, I've seen all of those, man. Complete the act, do all the extras, woo-de-woo-de-woo. I've seen it all. I've been on the other side of those calls, man. That's not new. It's not new. And so he catches the ball 2 feet down. He takes 2 steps. Oh yeah, he gets 2 steps. But the way it's written, or whatnot, he's got to do the football act. Catch the ball, 2 feet down, make a football move. Before the third foot comes down, the ball gets knocked out. Now, I'm not going to lie. I can admit it. That's a terrible rule. But it's not exclusive to just Baltimore, right? It's not exclusive to Baltimore. I saw Calvin Johnson have a touchdown, a game-winning touchdown in Detroit, called out on just a fade route in the end zone. He catches the ball, he falls down. He's holding the ball with one hand the whole time. He uses the ball to get off the ground. Like, he puts his hand down that he's holding the ball. He puts his hand down and pushes himself up and lets go of the ball as it gets up. They took away his touchdown. You know what I mean? So we've seen crazy calls. We've seen calls that don't make sense, that defy all reasonable logic. But that's the way the rule is written. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Shout out to my dog Miles, man. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So, hey, man, don't be mad at us. Don't be mad at us, man. It's a bad rule. I'm with you. I'm all for changing the rule. If we want to update or amend that rule that plays like that count as touchdowns, I'm all for it. But you ain't going to do it this week because it's been on the books. It ain't going to do it this week. It better be called the way it's supposed to be called. We can fix it in the offseason. You know what I mean? But no, I can understand your frustrations, Baltimore. Y'all punk asses. Let's talk about the game itself. A-Rod threw for 284, had a touchdown in this one. One passing touchdown, also had a rushing touchdown. The thing that just really did it for me, first possession, first play of the game, we go right up top and hit DK Metcalf on a 50-yard pass up the right sideline. Right out the gate. Oh, man, I could have lost it. And also, DK had his best game thus far of the season. 7 for 148. We didn't get him in the end zone, but still, fantastic performance there. Let me see. On the other side, Lamar, man. Lamar's having his worst year of his career for sure. Now, we know he was injured and nicked up. He's, 2 or 3 weeks? No, he's, I think this was his third game back from the injury. We saw him miss a handful of games right there in the early, mid part of the season. So he doesn't look to be himself, but he's not playing great. 219 passing yards, 1 touchdown. Did throw an interception in this one as well. He also added 40 yards and a rushing touchdown. Derrick Henry, I'll say held in check. 25 rushes for 94 yards. So, he averaged somewhere around 3.5, 3.7 yards a carry, somewhere in there. I'll take that. You know what I mean? I'll take that all day long. I'll take it twice on Sunday. Thank you. Let's see. Zay Flowers had a big day, 8 for 124. We already know about Isaiah Likely. He did have an earlier touchdown reception in that game, and then he has the other second touchdown, controversial touchdown, taken away or overturned, which would have been a touchdown to give them the lead or win the game most likely. In that instant, I think that was toward the end of the game. And so, fantastic. I'll take it, man. Fantastic game by my Steelers. We were in pretty. It felt like we were in pretty good control of that game, and then we did kind of stall, or maybe, we did start to kind of stall offensively, and Baltimore stuck around, man, and if you let a good team at home, or a talented team, I should say, You let a talented team stick around too much, especially at home in their building, and it may come back to bite you, man. And so we almost got bit. But we didn't know. But we didn't. And down goes Baltimore, as they should, reminding them where they belong. Reminding them where they belong. Sis know what's going on. Yeah, for sure. For sure, I appreciate you. But yeah, let me see. Where are we going? And you know what? I'm going to make up a little time. I'm going to blow through some of these other games that we don't have to spend a lot of time on. Seattle abuses Atlanta. Matter of fact, IT, shout out to my dog IT, we were just talking about Xavier Watts. Yeah, he did not look good in this one. But yeah, his tackle has been an issue. Seattle dominates 37-9 and gets that done. Let's see. Washington on the road at Minnesota. Minnesota blows them out 31-0. Shout out to JJ McCarthy, man, for a nice bounce back performance from him. He's been terrible. He's been terrible, to put it lightly. To put it lightly, JJ's been god awful. And that's us putting it lightly. But he goes out with concussion. We thought it couldn't get any worse. Max Broswell comes in, plays even worse than we had seen from JJ McCarthy, which may have been a blessing in disguise, because if he'd have did anything positive at all, it might have cost JJ another start. And I know we don't want to see that, not for JJ. So kudos there. But no, nice bounce back game in this one. Didn't do anything extremely dynamic or dangerous, but played good enough football that didn't just give the game away. And so shout out to JJ McCarthy there. Let's see, Miami on the road at the Jets. Now, Miami, as crazy as their season started, they've quietly now been on a damn good run. I think Miami's won 5 in a row. I want to say Miami's won 5 in a row since starting their season. Didn't they start 1-5? I think they started their season 1-5 or 1-6, and they've won 5 in a row. So they're playing some damn good ball. Now, thanks in no small part to Devon Achane. Devon Achane is playing fantastic football, man. Devon Achane is having a year. He's balling. And I'm a big fan of his as well. I was, matter of fact, I was talking to my dog, Chop. Or no, I might have talked to y'all, man. It might have been something on the show, but y'all already know Jahmyr Gibbs is my favorite player in the league right now. My favorite back for sure. You know what I mean? There's a lot of Devon Achane. There's a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs game in Devon Achane as well. Now, of course, they both have that big-time speed for sure, which plays a big part of that. But they're both very dangerous with the ball in their hands as well, man, in the passing game as well. Those 4-yard dump-offs turn into 60-yard touchdowns with the balls in the hands of guys like that. So kudos and shout-out to those Dolphins. Hey, matter of fact, we went pretty hard. All of us did. We went pretty hard on Mike McDaniels. Yeah, Mike McDaniels to start the season. We owe him. The same way we gave it to him when it was down. We got to give it to him when he's up now. 5 in a row, completely salvaging this team, salvaging this year, and they're giving themselves a chance. Now I don't know, not a chance at the division. I think New England is too far ahead for all of that. But this AFC wild card is anybody's business, man. This AFC wild card is anybody's game still to this point, and I think the Dolphins have clawed themselves back to, are they 6-6 or are they 7-6 now? Once they've won 5 in a row, and this is week 14, so they've got to be somewhere. They're somewhere right in that mix, and so I mean I don't know, man. Who knows if the Dolphins win out? They may get somewhere around that 9-10 win mark, and then man, it's going to be a lot of. I think this year's AFC wild card is. I can't wait to see how it shakes out. There's going to be a lot of teams in that 9-10 win range. And to see how that actually is going to get seeded out for those 3 wild card spots. And the Dolphins have a chance to be one of those teams in that mix as well. And so kudos and shout out to Mike McDonald. Shout out to Devon Achane for sure. It definitely feels like, you know, we've stopped trying to run they've stopped trying to like force the game through Tua's hands or through Tua's arm. Like, nah, that's not who he is. It's not who he's been, right? But Devon Achane and this running game really getting going the way it's been and then building everything off that, like I said, they're on a nice little run. They're on a nice little run right now. New England on the road at Tampa Bay. New Orleans on the road at Tampa Bay. New Orleans gets this done, man. 24-20 on the road. Tyler Shuck goes and steals one from Big Bad Baker Mayfield in those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And you know what, honestly, man, where's Ibuka been at, man? I think Ibuka started this season, the first month of the season, he played just as well as anyone. And that's just as well as anyone. He did get injured or banged up a little bit. He missed, I want to say, maybe 3 games or so right there kind of in the middle of the season. And he's been back, and he's been okay for the most part. But we haven't seen the same guy that he was before the injury. And so, I don't know, man. I'm just curious to see what's going on there, or if he's going to reclaim that or regain that, because Tampa Bay's running out of time, man, they're trying to get healthy. Mike Evans, his practice window's open. Chris Godwin's back in that lineup. Emeka Egbuka's back in the lineup. Bucky Irving's back in that lineup. And so those pieces that Baker had to do without and try to keep them viable over the front half of the season, well, now Baker's beat up. Everybody else is kind of getting healthy around him. But even though all those pieces are there, Emeka Egbuka, who was a big part of that, he still hasn't necessarily regained that initial form he had when he first hit the league. And curious to see if Tampa Bay, especially with letting this one go, rookie Tyler Shuck comes in your building and balls. I mean, he played well, man. He definitely flashed. I wasn't a big Tyler Shuck fan. I didn't like the draft pick. I liked the draft pick even less because Shedeur was available. But be that as it may, man, New Orleans may have something in Shuck. I don't know if I feel good enough about Shuck that I still wouldn't take a quarterback next year if I had a chance, depending on how things shake out. But he's definitely shown himself well, and that's a big win on the road against a division rival. So kudos and shout out to Tyler Shock. Let me see. Denver on the road against the Raiders. Denver wins this one 24-17. They're rolling. Denver still, the number 1 seed in the AFC, right? I believe, Denver's the number 1 seed in the AFC. So kudos and shout out to Sean Payton. Bo Nix in the game. That defense for sure playing well. I think I forgot to mention the Broncos. We were talking about defenses earlier with the Browns and the Texans, but definitely we can't go too far in that type of discussion without mentioning that Broncos defense for sure. Nick Bonito having a fantastic year. Patrick Surtain a little beat up this year, but he's been back and he's playing well. Of course, reigning defensive player of the year. And so the Broncos have something going, especially there with that, especially as that defense is. Let's see. Last week's game of the week, Chicago at Green Bay. Man, this was an entertaining game as well. Green Bay does get this win. Jordan Love, man. Y'all know how I feel about Jordan Love. Jordan Love doing his thing, man. Jordan Love playing just damn good ball. Now, the 234 yards. It's not 350, right? But fantastic ball placement on a lot of these throws. 3 touchdowns in this one. Did throw an interception, right? He did throw an interception as well. But no, had fantastic game. Christian Watson gets him deep, running across the goal line from about 40 yards out. Just a beautiful, nice touch passes right there, dropping in the bucket for him. The 45-yard touchdown pass to Bo Melton. Another one, just fantastic touch and placement. Just drop right in the bucket, right? Make it easy on him. And so he's playing. I'm missing one too, but he's playing well. I hated to see Tucker Kraft go down. Matter of fact, if my dog Chops in here, he'll tell y'all I was predicting a huge year for these Packers on the strength of Jordan Love and Tucker Kraft really taking the next step, right? I told my dog Chop 2 weeks before the season, I said, boy, Jordan Love and Tucker Kraft gonna turn into the new Tony Romo and Jason Witten. I said that verbatim. To my dog Chop, and it was looking that way now. Before Tucker Kraft went out with that injury, damn, I hate to see it. I said it again, but he was playing damn good ball, fantastic ball. I think he was the number 1 fantasy tight end in the number 1 tight end in fantasy, and so he was playing extremely well. Hate to see him go down, but that team is still, they're starting to kind of find a little groove here. That still, flying around and playing well, of course, with the addition of Micah Parsons, Rasheem Gary still on the other side as well. They've got something going there, and this is a very good win. This is a Chicago team that's had a couple close calls, but they went into this game as the number 1 seed in the NFC. Now, as crazy as playoff seedings and how these things shake off, the loss in this game, not only did it cost Chicago the number 1 seed, Chicago is now the number 7 seed in the NFC, from number 1 to number 7 from losing this one game, right? And that's crazy. That's a wild variance, right? And so, we'll see how it ends up playing out. If Chicago, in Ben Johnson's first year as coach, if he is able to complete the full 180-degree turn for this Bears team and get them into the playoffs, let alone win a playoff game. But to even get them there, coming from where they came from, just speaks to his ability as a coach for sure. Let me see. Rookie Colton Loveland. Man, I can't talk. He had a touchdown in this one as well. The second half of the season, or since about the midpoint, his connection with Caleb Williams has really started to come forward. And so there's a lot to be excited about if you're a Bears fan for sure. My dog Miles says, hey, Miles, I'm not sure you're talking about, bro. I don't know if you meant to say that to me or what. 16%. Or if I said something and I didn't catch the comment soon enough, you got to remind me then what that's about, big dog. My fault. Let's see. Here we go. The LA Rams on the road at Arizona. They blow out the Cardinals 45-17. They keep rolling. Ain't much to talk about that. Now, Jacoby Brissett. Now, well, I ain't going to waste time talking about it. That's a 30-point blowout by the Rams, man, beating up on them poor Cardinals. And let me see. Wait a minute. Was that the last one? Because I think we already talked about that Philadelphia and Chargers game on Monday night. Or maybe we touched on it, but we didn't pull it up and talk about it properly when my dog IT was in the building earlier. But no, Philadelphia, this game pissed me off while I was watching it because it just felt sloppy. Like it just felt sloppy. I didn't particularly overly enjoy like all the turnovers in this one. Let me see, man. I think it was 5 total turnovers by the Eagles, 3 turnovers by the Chargers. Jalen Hurts throws 4 interceptions. Justin Herbert throws 1 interception, also loses 2 fumbles. Saquon had a big statistically, and you know what? If my dog Chopper is still in here, this is one of the things that me and Chopper have talked about over the years. It's why we used to tell people you gotta let the film speak. Because if you just read the stat sheet and saw, oh man, Saquon went for 122 yards and a touchdown, average 6 yards a carry, right? So statistically, he balled. No, he didn't, man. He was boxed up. He had a 50-yard touchdown run to salvage his day, right? But in full context of the game, shout out to my dog IT, man. He said, if you was watching that all 22, it was just as ugly a day for Saquon as it's been for this season. And I think that 50-yard touchdown run, which gave him a 100-yard performance in this one, I think it's only his second 100-yard game of the season. And this is a season after, of course, leading the league in rushing last year and coming off of a 2,000-yard performance. And Offensive Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. And then also, of course, of note, A.J. Brown watch still in full effect. He did have 100 yards in this one, 6 catches for 100 yards. He did one of those interceptions. And y'all know how I feel about A.J. Brown. I ride with A.J. Brown, man. I'm a huge A.J. Brown fan. A.J. Brown is a top 4 receiver in football in my mind. We can argue about it later. Also, I'm a big proponent of A.J. Brown in his game. I can't say for certain that he didn't maybe get a little alligator arms on that interception that went off his hands. Now, the ball was high. I don't want to discount that as well. The ball was high. But I don't feel like AJ fully extended to go get that. I feel like he went about here. Ball hits off his fingertips. You know what I mean? I feel like he went about here. I don't feel like he went about here. And I've seen A.J. Brown. We've all seen it. A.J. Brown go get that, man. A.J. Brown can go get that thing. You know what I mean? And so now also keep in mind as well, it was some work waiting on him now. You know what I'm saying? It was some work waiting on. Business decision? I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? And I'm going to stop talking like that because I'm not trying to call it to question that man's character and integrity. But I don't know, man. Maybe he just misjudged it. I think maybe he just misjudged it. But ball goes off his hands and it ends up turning into one of the 4 interceptions thrown by Jalen Hurts in this game. The other one to end the game, just bad decision. Bad decision and the worst ball for sure up the right sideline. And that ends up being the ball game right there in overtime. But no, kudos and shout out to the Chargers. Matter of fact, shout out to my dog IT if he's still in the building as well. They got that dub and got that done. We'll see what they do with these pissed off Chiefs that come into their building. I can't remember if that's Sunday night or Monday night football. But yeah, we'll see what they do with those Chiefs this week coming up. And let me see here. Rennie said she thinks Chicago's best year coming off those last 2 years. No, absolutely. Last year, People wanted to call Caleb Williams a bust last year, Rainey. He was a rookie. He was a rookie with a questionable head coach. You know what I mean? And Matt Eberflus. And so there was there's a lot of things that went into it last year. That roster still is in the process of being overhauled and overturned and rebuilt. And so, but people were ready to be out on Caleb Williams. You know what I mean? And so for Ben Johnson to get there and the impact he's had in such a short turnaround, like I said, before they lost this game, they was the number one team in the AFC. They were the number one team, in the NFC going into this game in Green Bay. Now, of course, now they end up losing that game. They dropped to 7, but it doesn't change or it doesn't dampen what they've done and accomplished in such a short time. And that's thanks in no small part to the job that Ben Johnson has done as a head coach and the development that we've been seeing from Caleb Williams. Now, in that game against Green Bay, Caleb Williams does have of course he wants that back. I'm sure anybody who throws an interception, man, that's the one I want back. But the interception he threw in the end zone in that one, just a bad ball. You know what I mean? Like it just a bad ball. It hung up. It's just a bad ball, and that's an interception in the end zone. That took points off the board as well. But no, Caleb Williams has definitely progressed. He's making large strides in his game, especially considering from last year. And like I said, this is 13 games in to Ben Johnson and this new regime. So that arrow for the Bears is definitely pointing up. That arrow for the Bears is definitely pointing up. Reen said she also agreeing about A.J. Brown. Nah, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, as I said, A.J. Brown he's one of them ones for sure in my mind, but I'm not quite sure that he didn't short arm that one just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's all I'm saying. You know I still love you, A.J. Brown. You know I ride with you, dog. And you know what? I just thought about it as well. The Thursday game, man. The Thursday game. Who we got tomorrow night? Somebody help me out. I'm looking for it now. Oh, Falcons at Buccaneers. Okay. Falcons at Bucks. I'll still put it on the board so we can just touch on it real quick, man. Then we'll probably wind it on down. Let's see. And matter of fact, we're going to call it live as well. Atlanta on the road on a short week after getting dogged out by Seattle. Now you go on the road against a reeling Buccaneers team as well. Like I said, we also just took a loss from another division rival. So this is 2 division rival games back-to-back for the Bucks on a short week as well. Uh-oh. That makes this interesting. Back-to-back division games on a short week. Both these teams coming off of losses. The Falcons coming off an ugly-ass loss. Got 30 ball by the Seattle Seahawks. And then Tampa Bay letting themselves lose one to rookie Tyler Shuck in his 4th start against a Saints team that's not going anywhere at the crib. I'll go Big Bad Baker Mayfield to be a little pissed off and to get a little revenge in this one against a Falcons team that has been wildly up and down for sure and coming off of just such an ugly loss. I'll go Tampa Bay bouncing back, getting this win, and I'll go 24-16 against division rival Atlanta Falcons. Against the division rival Atlanta Falcons on a short week tomorrow night for Thursday Night Football. And there it is. That's it. That's all. There you have it. We came, we saw, we conquered, we made it all the way through week 14. And I appreciate y'all for rocking with your dog. Now, as always, y'all know what time it is. We cannot get out of here without doing that real roll call, man. So first up, before we wind it on down, shout out to Rini in the building. I appreciate you as always. Uh-oh. And then let me see my dog Miles, Pretty Tony the Painter in the building. I appreciate you, big dog. Sis was in the building. I appreciate you as always. You know what time it is. Big Nation Business in the building. Come on now. You know what's going on. I appreciate you. Let's see. Mondoose is in the building as well. Hey, welcome in our new guy to the family, man. We appreciate you as well. Where you at, man? I see Raul Havana 5448, man. Hey, I appreciate you. You didn't come back in here, man. I tried to call you to the front of the class. You know what I'm saying? And you went ghost on me, man. But hey, before you got out of here, if you got out of here, I hope you tapped in with them 3 amigos. We got rules around here, man. You might have got out of here before we got to explain to you the rules. Tap in with them 3 amigos. That's like, that's share, that's subscribe. Tap in, holler at me, let me know where you from, man. Let me know what your team is. I appreciate you coming through. And yeah, man, pop back around, man. We have a good time in here, man. Shout out to my dog IT in the building, man. Holding it down for them Los Angeles Chargers. Another draft head like myself, because man, I was sure. That's what I stayed up, bro. I sure was like, nah, hold on, man. Yeah, Xavier Watts, not Xavier Woods. But shout out to my dog, man, Mr. Cash Kid, man, IT himself. I appreciate you, big dog. And let me see, man. I'm looking for y'all. I'm looking for the rest of y'all. Wait a minute. I know. There he is. I was about to say, I know my dog, Tom. I know my dog, Terrible Tom, was in here holding it down for them Houston Texans. And I was looking for the one where you let them know that them Texans is still going to the Super Bowl. I appreciate your homeboy. Shout out to my dog, Loke, man, in the building. Hey, man, Loke showed up, didn't know what was going on, man. He was looking around like, hey, man, it's kind of cool in here, man. This the penthouse? Can I have a drink? Yeah, you can do more than a little bit in this thing, man. I appreciate you coming through as always, big dog. Shout out to my dog, man, my partner, my dog Chop, man. Hey, was in this thing for sure. I appreciate you as always, homeboy. Yeah, there it is. That's the one I was looking for sure. And, man, I'm looking for the rest of y'all. Matter of fact, I'm trying to get you. Did I get my dog? Did I get you? Damn. Say the same thing every week. So y'all know what time it is. Feel free, say it with me at home. If I forgot to say your name, damn. Hey, my bad. But charge it to my head and don't charge it to my heart. You know we thinking about you, big dog. I appreciate all the love support as always. Appreciate y'all coming through here, rocking with your dog, man. Sitting back, relaxing, man, chopping up some football. Like I said, we had a lot of good games this coming week. This NFL season has been like, this is very exciting, man, because we've got a big return to parity. That's what I think we'll say. It feels like, football has these stretches or these runs where there's 2-3 teams at the very top and nobody else has a real shot, a real chance, right? You know what I mean? We've seen that before. This year, the league has been turned on its head, right? The stalwarts in the AFC, right? There's like a big four in the AFC, so to say, because the Chiefs can really be set apart, right? But let's say the big four. We've got Kansas City. We've got Buffalo. We've got Cincinnati. We've got the Baltimore Ravens. All four of those teams are fighting for wild cards. And the Chiefs may be self-eliminated, right? And so there's a complete overhaul in the hierarchy of the league right now, right? We've got Bo Nix's Bengals, Drake May's Patriots, right? We had the Colts, Daniel Jones's Colts, or the Daniel Jones quarterback Colts. I ain't gonna call him Daniel Jones's Colts. And now we've got instead Trevor Lawrence's Jaguars. And then Aaron Rodgers' Steelers. Those are the top 4 teams in the AFC right now. And then Patty Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson are looking up at those guys. Like, that's crazy. That's nuts, right? NFC is having a similar thing as well. Now, the Rams are still there, right? The second iteration of the Rams with Matt Stafford. So, there's still a blue blood. We know them. But some of these other ones, you know what I mean? We're getting this cycled out as well in the NFC also. The Lions, right? The Lions have been a team that have been kind of sitting in that championship contention mix these last few years. And now they're also having their playoff chances are kind of in the balance as well, right? And so we're seeing that overhaul in the season, or we've seen a huge overhaul this season, a big return to parity. And I love it, man. I'm really a fan of it, really a proponent of it. I like that it feels like anyone and everyone has a real shot in this one. You know what I mean? It really feels that way. So I think that makes it more exciting. We got 4 more weeks of football left. We'll see how everything shakes out. Tap in with your dog, man. Sunday, 10 o'clock, Sunday Fun Day, morning football podcast show. Y'all know we're going to have a lot of we're going to have a good time in there. We'll break down all this week 15's upcoming matchups. We'll have fun while we do it. Y'all know how we rock. But until then, y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your family. Happy holidays. I'll see y'all Sunday. Peace.